Now, 4 people have been confirmed dead and 8 injured after a shooting at a Navy yard in Washington, D.C. Witnesses say a gunman was shooting from the 4th floor at people in a cafeteria. Reports claim 2 or 3 gunmen may have been involved in the attack, though that's unconfirmed at the moment. Several civilians and police officers are among the victims. Approximately 3,000 people work at the building where the largest of the Navy's command systems is situated. Well, let's now get some reaction live from a political commentator, John Wight, live from the UK. John, thanks very much for coming onto the programme. This is still a very fluid story and we don't have all the facts at the moment, but we do know the shooter targeted a Navy command centre. In your opinion, what could be the motives for such an attack?
Well, the first thing that springs to mind is the possibility that it is connected to US foreign policy, given that it is a military installation that was attacked, and given that, as you've just reported, it is emerging that there were more than one gunman involved. So these will be the questions that will be worrying the government, worrying the authorities, especially the fact that it did take place, as I say, at a military installation, a naval yard, and questions of security will obviously arise.
You mentioned the question of security there. Is this a pretty rare event to happen under these circumstances?
Well, certainly you would think so. I mean, the US, as we know, has military installations all over the world to an extent never seen since the Roman Empire. So for it to happen, particularly in the heart of the nation's capital, will be particularly worrisome for the authorities and, as I say, the government.
And presumably, well, obviously part of the investigations will be to try and understand the motivation for this attack, but do you believe it could be politically motivated? Presumably that will be one avenue that they will investigate.
Well, it certainly looks like it at this stage, given, as I say, the target, the fact there was more than one gunman involved, and what we know of US foreign policy, that it has incurred these attacks before. There was a case, it was recently gone through the courts in the US, where a US military officer, I think it was in one of the Marine bases, shot some of his soldiers and officers. This was in advance of the war in Iraq. So there is an element of US foreign policy that springs to mind that could be behind this particular attack. But as you said at the top of your report, it is very fluid, and everything right now is speculation.
OK, thank you, John. We have to leave it there. That's political commentator John Wight, live from the UK. Thank you.